Hey everyone, so today I want to talk about the 2013 film I Give It a Year. And I do apologise if the lighting is a bit dim in here this evening, it's quite late at night. Okay, so the title of this film I think is pretty self-explanatory for what the film is actually about. It's about a newly married couple who 9 months later are on the verge of a breakup. Neither of them are happy with what's going on and both of them have found additional love interests. And it's a whole, will they stay together, will they break up, will they get with the person they really want to be with. But just because it sounds like a typical story, don't think it's necessarily going to pan out the way you might expect. I know at least for me, certain things didn't happen the way I expected, which meant that I was kept hooked all the way. Now this is a bit of a rom-com, and ordinarily I'm not the biggest fan of rom-coms, but when one is good, I love it. Start to finish, I laughed through this. I found something every 20-30 seconds that I just thought was so impossibly amusing. The script is just so exquisite that you can't help but laugh. Completely loved it, and it completely weaved in with the plot. You know, it's not the type of comedy where it kind of doesn't fit in with the story. If you've seen the trailer, you'll know a particular moment with a dove, which is of course in the film. That I thought was hilarious, despite the fact that the trailer did kind of spoil it. But don't worry, it's not one of those films where all the comedic moments are in the trailer. So many more things happen which will have your sides splitting. So the plot seems basic, but it's actually a little bit more intricate than that. As far as comedic value goes, it is absolutely perfect, and the directing is amazing. It's directed by Dan Mazer, and you may think, Amy, how complex can the directing be for a rom-com? Yes, the directing for rom-coms is not going to be as fancy and fantastical as it is for an action movie or a fantasy movie, but I thought it was very, very clever. Quite often there are things going on screen that's not the main focus. And no, that kind of breaks conventions, because normally you're not supposed to have a busy background, you're supposed to focus on the main thing. But you know, something kind of inappropriate will be happening just off screen that you're supposed to pay attention to. It's part of the humour, it's part of the comedy. One particular thing happens with a photo frame, which, if you've seen the film, you'll know what I'm on about. I just think the directing, it really pushes the boundaries of rom-com directing and really makes it just something that a little bit more interesting than just basic directing. For me, the cast is just as exciting as the directing. Now, I didn't actually have any plans to see this. My friend wanted to go and see it, and when I found out that Faris was in it, I thought, fantastic. Faris plays a character quite different to other roles that I've seen her in. For example, I love her in Just Friends and in House Bunny, and also in Friends itself. But the character of this as Chloe is so much more interesting and so much somebody who I find more of myself in than I do the actual main protagonist. The main protagonist in this is, of course, Nat, played by Byrne. Kind of a likeable character, kind of not. I don't know if I was supposed to feel sorry for her, but I didn't. But I guess that's not really an issue. Rafe Spall is in this, not entirely sure if I'm pronouncing this right, but that's brilliant. Flemyng, I know, is a highlight for a lot of people, as is Minnie Driver. Olivia Colman is in it. Olivia Colman's character is very interesting and very comedic. She has quite a lot of interesting scenes. But look out for the dolls. That's all I'm saying, but there are 2 dolls in it, and I've never laughed so hard in all my life at these 2 dolls. It's just outright hilarious. You'll know what I'm on about if you've seen it. You can't help but know that. So the cast, I think, worked really well. The casting is great. Each one, I think, fitted the character really well. Didn't expect to see Olivia Colman in this, but I'm glad she was, and I thoroughly enjoyed her performance. But the cast, directing, brilliant. Needless to say, I definitely recommend I Give It a Year. I do want to point out that it is a 15, it does contain strong language and it does contain nudity. So if you're under 15, you kind of can't see it. But I definitely recommend that everybody who can goes and sees it. It is hilarious. As I said, it wasn't something I personally had made plans to see, but when my friend asked, I kind of said, well, I've dragged you to a lot of Helen and Tim Burton things, I should really make the effort. So I went, thoroughly enjoyed it, glad I didn't miss it. Definitely go and check it out, let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!